Hello, and welcome again to another video on our financial literacy channel. Today, we will be discussing debt management and sharing with you the 7 effective transitioning strategies from debt to wealth as inspired by the most inspiring book on wealth ever written by George S. CLARSON, the richest man in Babylon. Debt is simply referred to as a sum of money that is owed or due for payment. Debt could be secured, such as home loans, car loans, etc. Debt could be unsecured, such as personal loans, overdrafts, utility bills, credit cards, and payday loans, etc. Debt could be revolving, such as credit cards, personal, business, and home equity lines of credit, etc. And debt could be non-revolving, such as student loans, personal loans, mortgages, etc. In our subsequent videos, we will be discussing more on the types of debt and examples outlined above. Inasmuch as many debts may seem inevitable, once they become difficult or nearly impossible to pay back, debt becomes a burden. And when debt becomes a burden, it can put anyone in a financial hole, financial disruption, or a total breakdown of anyone's financial life. Therefore, anyone can find themselves in a financial hole as a result of a debt burden, which can result in financial stress, bankruptcy, and financial ruin. Debt-related stress can cause mild to severe issues affecting one's emotional, physical, medical, and mental health. These issues can lead to chronic stress, high blood pressure, insomnia, denial, anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, etc., and, in severe case scenarios, lead to problems with a couple's marital health, serious medical, and mental health issues. At first, when a debt or loan is initially obtained, almost everyone has the intention of paying it back. However, even with careful planning, debt burdens majorly manifest in 2 ways. 1. Incidental or intentional, and 2. Accidental or unintentional. Debt burden could be accidental due to bad business, resulting in the inability to repay a business loan when it is due for repayment. It could also be personal or other loans, obtained for any genuine purposes, but struck by unfortunate or unforeseen circumstances that accrue debt over time and makes it difficult to pay back. While incidental debt burden happens to anyone who lives beyond their means or income and spends freely without caution, leading to the point where they even borrow for ingenuine reasons, thereby sowing seeds of unnecessary self-indulgence, which will undoubtedly result in embarrassment and difficulty in paying back such debt. In today's world, especially on social media, we see people living fake lives to fit in, no matter the cost, in order to gain identity, status, popularity, and approval from others. They also overuse the fake it till you make it lifestyle, showing off and impressing people by living extravagantly beyond their means. Most of the time, many people put themselves under unnecessary pressure and turn to debt in order to maintain the standards they have unnecessarily set for themselves. Consequently, the wreak havoc caused by debt burden, whether intentional or unintentional, is greater than one could possibly imagine. At some point, the burden of debt may become so great that it may be tempting to attempt to escape it and start over. At this point, the true nature of a person's character is revealed to everyone. A successful person will find a way, while a weak person will continue to flee. So it is essential to make up one's mind and be disciplined enough to find ways of digging oneself out of debt, even though it might be hard and painful. The only real solution is to change your debt habits and start digging your way out, one step at a time. The key is to be determined to be debt-free. In the long run, the individual with willpower and determination will always succeed. A person who lacks motivation will always be prepared to give up when a challenge appears. Therefore, to unburden yourself from the weight of your debt, it is essential to know that where there is will and determination, there is always a way. Do you want to find out how? Kindly fasten your seat belt, grab a pack of popcorn, and let's get right into it. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the bell notification button. You can also share the video with others, as well as share your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks! The transitioning strategies from debt to wealth. 7 ways or steps to unburden yourself from the weight of your debt and build wealth at the same time. Stress over one's finances can make it more difficult to save, budget, or even plan for the future. Anyone who is struggling financially cannot think rationally or build wealth. Positive action and paying off debt are much more productive before beginning any wealth-building program. The following methods can be used by any serious debtor to get out of debt, make plans for the future, and boost their self-esteem. 1. The first step is self-discipline and self-determination. Being disciplined and determined to get out of debt usually means making some painful decisions. It may be time to take drastic action if you are simply too far behind. While you worry about paying off debt and bills at the same time, it's important to plan and do everything in your power to simplify your life by downsizing your lifestyle and getting rid of unnecessary expenses or ones you can ignore without remorse. Then, at that point, adding up all your debt and necessary bills against all of your income sources is the initial step to getting everything rolling on becoming liberated from debt. In addition, selling whatever non-essential items you have that you can live without is another difficult decision. A one-time payment against your highest interest loan should be made with any proceeds from the sale of non-essential goods. 2. Now that you know the total amount of your debt, bills, and also your income, the next step is a debt repayment plan. The purpose of this plan is to guarantee prosperity in the future. From your income, you need to pay yourself first by putting aside 10% or 1/10 of your income in a savings program or investment fund for the future. The trick here, according to Warren Buffett, is spending what is left after savings and not saving what is left after spending. Consider this as if your income is only 90% of what it is, not 100%, to pay for your debt and expenses. In other words, a long-term savings program receives 10% or 1/10 of all earnings. This is to ensure that, in addition to paying off your debt, you are also saving for the future and making plans for it. 3. The person in debt and their family need to pay for their daily needs. Therefore, 7/10 or 70% of all earnings must be utilized for this objective. This is where more discipline is required and downsizing your lifestyle. The reason why most people are in debt in the first place is that they spend above their means, and now it is imperative to live below it, not 90%, but only on 70% of it. Keep your spending under control and make a distinction between what you need and what you want in your own life. Consider needs as necessities you can neither ignore nor sacrifice, while wants will be regarded as desires that you can ignore without remorse. Preparing a budget is an essential and practical way to distinguish between your needs and wants. 70% of your income, and not more. 4. Now, it is time to have a meeting with your creditors. Because of shame, the majority of people are afraid of approaching their creditors. The majority of creditors, on the other hand, have demonstrated through experience that rather than allowing the debt situation to continue for an interminable amount of time, they would rather have a concrete, workable plan to resolve it. Therefore, schedule a meeting or appointment with your creditors. However, before you go, do your homework and necessary preparation and make sure all your documents are in order. 5. Once you can meet with your creditors, kindly propose an offer to renegotiate the debt with the remaining 2/10 or 20% of your income and explain the steps you've taken to avoid defaulting on your debts. Declare the total amount of all debts, as well as a strategy for making regular proportionate payments to each creditor until all debts are paid in full. All creditors will be treated equally, with each receiving regular payments proportional to the total amount due. No creditors will be given preferential treatment. The good thing about this plan is that it offers a practical way to get out of debt and stay out of it, as well as hope for the future. To further reestablish and restore trust among your creditors, remind all your creditors that they will continue to be the preferred seller for cash payments based on the 70% of income spent on living expenses when you approach them. To put it another way, their current cash-based business relationship with you will continue, and their debt will be reduced, not only gradually, but also consistently. This could also be backed by a written agreement. 6. After all debt is fully paid off over time, now there is a breath of fresh air. A person needs to find and practice contentment by continuously living that way long after they are debt-free and used to living on only 70% of their income. After that, they can think about increasing their investment savings from 10% of their income to 30%. A much greater discipline is required at this stage, as once you are accustomed to living on 70% of your income, it is better to maintain that, and not without caution, increase your spending again. This will not only triple your investment savings, but also help recoup those times you have wanted to plan for the future, but couldn't due to the effect of debt burden. 7. Increase your earning capacity. The more money you can make, the more you can meet your needs, and the less likely to be back into debt. It is highly imperative to never stop looking into different streams of income, additional income opportunities, or income sources, and ways to make more money. A second or part-time job or side hustle can come in handy. You can get more training or education, work harder in your current workplace if it rewards you for your performance, or even change careers completely. Every wealth creator must constantly be on the lookout for ways to increase their earning capacity. It's never too late to start that, which will improve your life, and most especially, your earnings and income. Nowadays, having multiple sources of income is no longer a luxury, but a necessity, because that is where wealth comes from. The richest and the most successful people are known to have multiple streams or sources of income. According to Warren Buffett, never depend on a single income, make investments to create a second source. In our subsequent videos, we will be discussing more on the types of multiple streams or sources of income. So, those are the 7 strategic steps, and if you follow them, you'll be able to get out of most financial holes, get rid of debt, and get rid of all the financial stress that comes with the havoc wreaked, not only on your finances, but also on your medical, marital, mental, and physical health, as well as accumulate wealth at the same time. In the end, digging yourself out of debt can boost your mental and physical health Having more income liberated from debt may mean greater financial confidence, morale, and better opportunities to save for the future by putting money aside for retirement and personal savings, and making sure not to go back into debt are all ways to build a sound and secure financial future for yourself and your loved ones. Ill fortune pursues every man who thinks more of borrowing than of repaying. Debtor. So that concludes our discussion today on debt management and the 7 effective transitioning strategies from debt to wealth, as inspired by the most inspiring book on wealth ever written by George S. CLARSON, the richest man in Babylon. I hope you enjoyed the video and also learned a couple of things from this video. If you have been impacted in any way, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the bell notification button. You can also share the video with others, as well as share your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.